Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it is a very fallish day, very hinting of the autumn to come here in Indianapolis. It is like upper 60s. It's been very gloomy and dark today. It's looked like it was going to rain all day long. You hear those birds in the distance, and it's like leaves are falling, and it's been kind of cool out today. I love these days. These days are good for like hot coffee and reading a book and watching some shows and things like that. So we're even thinking about maybe going to a movie later, and I'm very excited about that. So I thought that I would just hop on here for a little bit and read some meditations. Very excited about this. And I'm just drinking some coffee in my new Starbucks cup. Alright, so let's get right into this. It is September 16th. Let's see what the Journey to the Heart says to us today. The real magic is about to begin. At some point in the journey, we may become tired, weary, and confused. Homesick. All the mountains, the scenery, the food, the people, the experiences just don't do it for us anymore. We want to go home. What am I doing here, we wonder? Nothing worthwhile is happening. Yet another part of us knows the truth and whispers, yes, something is happening, something worthwhile. Feeling homesick is part of the journey. It can mean we're reaching a turning point. When we get to that place, a friend once said, it means the journey has really begun. Stay present for yourself and all your emotions. You've worked through so much. Don't stop now. Getting through this point will turn your life around. You've learned and grown. You've worked so hard healing your heart and cleansing your soul. Your spiritual growth has been profound. But until now, all the work you've done has been to prepare you for where you're going. You've seen only a little of what life has to offer. You're about to walk through a door. Now that your heart is open, you'll see, touch, and know even more of life's wonders. It's a reward for where you've been. Keep feeling your feelings and trusting your guidance. Let the magic begin. It's an interesting meditation, you know. I wouldn't say it's one of the most profound meditations I've ever read on my channel by Melody Beatty. You know, I think that this idea of home is going back to where we first began, and she's talking, you know, metaphorically about a journey as a trip is what she's talking about when she's talking about like this journey of healing that we're on in our lives and this journey of growth, right? That when you're on a trip, there becomes a point where you get kind of homesick and you miss your house and you miss your dogs, right? And stuff like that. But when you're thinking about it from the point of a healing journey or a growing journey, I think that we get to a certain point where the planes today, when I've been filming, have been like so crazy low over our house. Like, I mean, I could literally like see it right there. It's so crazy. They've been very loud today too. But, you know, I think when we're talking about it on, hey, how are you? When we're talking about it, you know, as far as like a journey of healing and a journey of growth, I think there becomes a point where we get to a certain point and then we're like, okay, I want to go back to where I was. Like, this is starting to become uncomfortable. I'm starting to take risks that don't feel comfortable for me. And what she's saying is that that's not a time to go home. Okay, I know you're homesick. I know you're missing what was comfortable. I know you're missing what was safe. But this is where you have to keep on pushing through. This is kind of where sometimes, and listen, I love metaphors and analogies all day long, right? But this is sometimes where I wish Melody Beatty would just come out and say what she has to say. Say what you want to say. Let your words sing out. Because I think sometimes it gets kind of lost in translation with all these analogies that she uses. And she doesn't do it so much in the language of letting go. I mean, she does, but not as much. But in the journey of the heart, the whole journey is kind of like translated through this idea of a trip, right? And she talks a lot about, she even kind of interweaves it with, or weaves it through with this, like these trips that she's taken to the Grand Canyon and Yosemite and these national parks that she goes to, and she kind of like translates it into that, where I feel like sometimes what she's saying is missed, because I think her point here is poignant, but I think that it's kind of missed in the translation, if that makes sense, you know? to compare it to, like, I think a better analogy, I love the movie Thelma and Louise. I think it's a transformative movie. If you've never seen Thelma and Louise, please go watch it today or this weekend. It's such a great movie. And it's about two women that have been in very stereotypical roles their whole lives and have basically been told what to do as women. And they go on this road trip, and this horrible situation occurs that then they are running from. And so they kind of are forced to become new people because they're, you know, fugitives on the run. And there's a part in it when they're, like, driving through, like, the Badlands, or it's, like, before they get there or something. And at first, it's Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis. And at first, Susan Sarandon's character is the one that starts changing the most. But then Gina Davis is the one that, she's, like, married and whatever. And she's the one that's, like, afraid to step out of her role. And she becomes the one that becomes the most changed. And there's a point there where she says something to Susan Sarandon about, like, are you thinking about going back home and turning yourself in? And Susan Sarandon's like, no, not really, but you can tell she is. And Gina Davis goes, well, I don't know about you, but I can't go back. Like, something's changed in me, and it's different, and I can't change back to who I used to be. The reason why I use that example is because, A, I love that movie. And B, because, like, that movie really helped me to see the growth I needed to do in myself and really appreciate growth in other people. And plus, I also just love movies with strong female characters. But I think there have been many times in my life where I have made changes. I'm currently going through that change right now. If you watch my other channels, you know this is kind of like my standing up for myself era, where it's like I've changed and I can't go back to who I was before. Like, that's not comfortable for me to do. I can't go back to who I was before. I won't go back to who I was before. And the thing is that typically in life, when we're making changes and we're setting boundaries and we're growing, it's not just us. I mean, the most comfortable thing to do would be to go back to what we know, right? To go back to those easier, softer ways. Taking risks, setting boundaries, becoming new people, changing, evolving, and growing is scary. It's very scary. I've done it several times in my life, you know? These transition periods in our life where we change and we grow are very scary. But they also make us appreciate life so much more. They also make us enjoy life so much more. I don't want to miss out on life, you know? Like, I don't want to miss those good things. I don't want to miss out on certain aspects of life because I'm so afraid to step off my own front porch and become a different person. You know what I mean? And so I think we have to do those things. And it's like, the other thing to that is that when, I can't remember what else I was going to say, but the other thing to that, this is what I was going to say before that I think is important is, have you ever started changing and growing and healing and becoming a healthier version of yourself, and you start setting boundaries, and when people, like, who have used you and abused you your entire life and expected so much from you, you start saying no to them about things. Like, you're not rude about it. You just say, no, I'm not interested, or no, I'm not doing that, or whatever. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, why are you being an asshole, or why are you being a bitch? Like, they're so threatened by us changing and growing and becoming better people. I've had that happen to me, I think, every change I've made in my life, you know? There are people that don't really understand why it's important for me to change and grow. They don't understand, you know, and so their go-to in that is, you're different, you know? You're not who I thought you were. I don't know who this person is. Well, okay, I'm sorry that I can't stay. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry that I can't stay in this small little box that you want to keep me on a bookshelf up there and pull me down when it's convenient for you. But I'm not willing to do that. You have your life, and I have mine. And my life is just as important as yours, and yours, and yours, and yours. So all these people over in my entire life that I have been people-pleasing for so long and making sure that they're comfortable, and I don't challenge them, and I don't set boundaries, because if they're comfortable, and I just tell them and act the way that they want me to act, you know, even if that's not the real me, then everything seems a little bit more calm and more comfortable. But then who's really dying inside? I am. So my happiness, my self-worth is all just going to the wayside to make other people happy. I don't know about you, but I can't live that way anymore. My life is too important. I've come too far and I've made too many changes in my life to be somebody else's punching bag because they can't handle the changes I'm making in my life. A real friend, okay? Somebody that really loved you as a spouse, as a partner, as a child, as a parent, as a grandparent, as a neighbor, as a friend, or whatever. If you are making changes in your life that are healthier for you and you are enjoying life more and standing up for yourself and becoming a new person and setting boundaries and limits that are healthy for you, a person that loves you, like all those people that I just mentioned, would support that and champion you and say, yes, I'm so proud of you. You know, this whole standing up for myself era has been very interesting to me, okay? The people that will say to me, I just don't understand why you need to do... I mean, I'm talking about on YouTube and in my personal life. There haven't been a lot of people in my personal life, maybe one, that has said, like, I don't really understand, like, this, what's going on, blah, 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 whatever. And I've explained it to them. The more I've explained it to them, they've understood. But, you know, there's been some people that I've interacted with, not, like, people that watch my videos, but, like, other YouTubers and stuff, that are like, I don't really understand why, like, you have this necessity to talk about this. I'm like, well, that's what I do. I share who I am and the truth of my life on video. I always have, I always will, right? But then there have been people that have surprised me that I've been friendly with or civil with, and, you know, colleagues of mine that have really championed me standing up for myself and said, we're so proud of you. You know, I'm so proud of you. It's about time. You've been taking people's shit for too many years. Thank God you're finally standing up for yourself. I'm proud of you. This is impressive. That feels good. Those are the people that I want in my life to champion me, you know? And some of those people in my personal life and in my YouTube life have been people that are people that I needed to stand up to in the past, but we're cool today, right? Like people in my own personal life, you know, that are championing me, you know? People that I don't even talk about on videos in my personal life that are like, wow, like I'm so proud of you for like finally taking a stand and standing up for yourself. Some of those people are people that I've had to take a stand to in the past, right? Like in my personal life. And that wasn't easy and that wasn't hard. And I think because they realized what I went through, it means a little bit more to them. I don't know, maybe this meditation, I needed to hear of it a little bit more than I thought I did. I just don't love that she gets so caught up in the story. You know, sometimes we can get lost in the analogy, we can get lost in translation. But the thing is that we have to stay going on that journey, you know? Sure, home is comfortable. Sure, our bed is our safe place, and I love my front porch, you know? But it's also important to push through that and continue on the journey of healing and becoming different people and growing and changing. You deserve it. You owe it to yourself. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.